So they're saying 1 in 50 black American families are millionaires. Um, yeah, I guess that's a slight fun fact. Anyway, that's not what I'm on here to talk about though. As usual, I'm in my memories and stuff like that. Try not to get in my feelings. I mean, it's not really hard to get in my not to get in my feelings about this because just so damn throwback. But I do be wondering, Lord, why do I even remember this stuff? Like, why is it significant? Why does it still try to pop out and stand out to me? I feel like I wasn't supposed to forget it for a reason and it's that. Now, am I supposed to speak on everything? I know now that I'm definitely not supposed to speak on everything that I remember and recall. Um, because God will literally just shut me down. Like I'll start to even hyperventilate. I'll start to like lose my breath and the wind and stuff when I speak about it. And so I be wondering like, why, Lord, why can't I talk about this stuff? Because somebody will be quick to talk about something that they think or remember, they even think or feel that I did, and it can be considered old, but it can also be considered old and it didn't even happen at all, or it didn't happen the way that they explaining it. But anyway. I was thinking about how was it 2000 was either 2018 or 19 where my oldest son he had a tablet and he had kids Facebook Messenger on there and I told for whatever reason I don't know they called their dad. My daughter would always tell my sons that she was gonna call their dad on them and this that and the third, try to scare them and intimidate them into doing whatever she wanted them to do. Nothing really bad, but just if they was annoying her or something like that. So anyway, then my older son started picking it up and using that to call on my younger son. I'm like, well, to at least threaten that he was gonna call. I'm like, y'all need to stop. But I didn't stop them though. I didn't enforce that they stop. And so yeah, this was the thing. He had the device. His dad hadn't been around. Their so-called dad hadn't been around in probably some months. Maybe it could have been even a year, but definitely some months. And my son just wanted to use it. I had connected him to his so-called dad's Facebook Messenger during the time, and he allowed me to, um, gave me to go ahead or whatever, and just I connected him, and I put all of us like on a messenger thing. And so my oldest son utilized it on this particular day to try to, like I said, scare my youngest son into shape. He started crying and he was upset and stuff like that. That he thought he was gonna get a whooping by his dad. Oh Lord, there go big trifling. When I tell you they get on my nerves. Anyway, speaking of the things that I'm talking about, big trifling, at least try to be in the midst. I don't like when people try to be in the midst of something they want to be messy. If you want to be helpful, you helpful. But if you want to be messy, you just, like I said, you big trifling. Big trifling, big time trifling. You just idiotic. But anyway, before I get distracted. So my son made that contact with his so-called dad. You know me, I'm right there. For one, I was like still definitely caring about their dad and stuff like that, but we wasn't really interacting. If I go back into my email, I can see exactly when it happened. But anyway, it was just I know it was one of them Father's Day. It had to be 2008. Hold on, 2019. Had been 2018 or 19, one of them. Shoot, it could have been 2017. Anyway, no, it wasn't 2017. It had been 2018 or 19. Anyway, he made contact with him, and I'm in the back. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there listening and seeing what's going on, how his dad or so-called dad is communicating with him, and I I seen he was sitting in some background. I didn't know where he was at or whatever. I was trying to get my looks in and see, let me see if that's familiar and this, that, and the third. What's up with him? And then I hear him say something about taking my kids somewhere. I want y'all to go somewhere because it's going to be fun. and you haven't discussed this with their mom, you know what I'm saying? So we can actually make the plans. You're just telling them, trying to plant a seed that they're gonna have fun somewhere with you. Anyway, that never happened. He never got them for that, and I don't even know if he really wanted to. He just was trying to say something or whatever. Oh Lord, I just seen something that said when Karens refuse to die, the devil be bound. It's a little something on YouTube, but anyway. And I said that because the one I'm talking about, his deceased mom name is Karen, so how ironic, ain't it? But anyway, just a little jokey joke for me. Y'all might not get it. Y'all might not think it's funny. Oh Lord, here they go, cutting up slightly. They getting on my nerves. Hey, get out of the hallway. Get out the hallway. Go in your own room then. Stop raising your voice at me. When I said something once, don't repeat it louder. Oh my gosh, getting on my nerves. See, baby, those types of genes trying to show up. So he made a contact. He talked about something fun, which that's how he is. That's what he stays stuck on, just talking about fun all the time. I'm not gonna say he wasn't a male that had some kind of work ethic, but it's a lot of crazy talk. And so and then I hear him telling my son, don't call me at this certain time, or something about when he's working. Like, he doesn't know your schedule, so he doesn't know when to call you. Furthermore, kids should be able to call their parent whenever. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. Kids should be able to call their parent, the quote unquote main one, or the other, the absent one, anytime. Like, what? Wait, what? That's how we do this? So that was me coming into a new knowledge and understanding of, hey, it don't work like I thought it worked. That pissed me off so damn bad, and I was just sitting here like, wait, what? And I heard it, plus my son repeated it back, and I was like, what? You think a parent's supposed to be like that towards you? You can't call him? What's going on? And that's when I knew, okay, something ain't right. But, I've been knowing something wasn't right, but I'm like, okay, something ain't right at this point in time. And like I said, because he had been coming around to the point where they didn't really have to call or reach out to him, but if my kids wanted to call him, they had access to do that. Then it came up too to where he didn't even want to give me his phone number. I got his phone number like off of one of his bags or whatever. When he came here, he had the bag with him. It was my bag that I let him use. And I guess whenever it was being transported, he had to put labels and stuff on it, and he put his phone number on it. And I got his phone number off of there. And like I said, he didn't want to give me his phone number. This was in 2000 and... Sheesh, this might have been 2016, 17. I don't know. This was before any of that other type of madness was going on. So it was already something like transitioning to where he was trying to come out and stop talking to me, communicating with me, or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, and I was just sitting back watching it, not knowing what was going on or what was taking place or whatever, but just trying to process and like, what's going on? Like, I went from talking to him on somebody's loaner phone that he was using to him getting another number, which one time he hurried up and gave me his number a couple years back, but then he got another new number, like I said, in like 2016, 17, somewhere around there. 2017, 18, somewhere around there. It had been 2016, 17, and didn't want to give it to me. And I'm sitting here like, what's the problem? What's going on? When was I going to get the memo that something was changing? But yet you're still physically coming here, but I can't have your phone number. But you're physically coming here still expecting something, whether it was food, a shower, or this, or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, out of me in my household. You must be out your damn mind. And so now, baby, soon as I get wind of this is changing, I'm getting cut back. You getting cut back too. And I try not to be like that. I wasn't really like that. I'm talking like I was like that, but I wasn't really. I didn't do that to him. Like as soon as he tried to cut me back on something, or cut me off on something, I could no, I didn't do it, but I had to start. So it's basically like he let's just say he was trying to cut somebody's head off. He was cutting his own head off because you're not gonna do me like that, and I just be okay with it. So I heard him say that, and I was just like, what? And after that, I wrote him some spiel, some email or whatever. I'm sure I can go back in and see exactly what I wrote. Oh, excuse me. Let me see. I might be able to pull something up on here. Let me double check. But that right there, I don't know why I'm thinking about that today. Well, I partially don't know. The reason why I'm thinking about him at all, or he's something with him is coming up, is because, and I don't want to speak on it, but it is one of his kids' birthdays today, and along with her mom as well. I didn't want to acknowledge it or whatever, but yeah, and this is of course the one that he had the baby with on me while we were still involved in this, that, and the third. He could try to make it seem like we wasn't involved or this, that, and the third, but he was still around. He was still here. And then I was interacting with him, and I started having dreams about that literally almost looked exactly like the girl. Like, I didn't know what the girl looked like before, but the dreams was showing me exactly. It was showing me the type of character that she was having, along with the physical appearance. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? That was some deep stuff. And so, yeah, again, it's their birthday. And this was not my intention to come on here and mention this or whatever. I feel like my interactions with them is that I did what I did, and that's just that. There's nothing else I can do. My hands is off. God literally gave me a dream a couple years ago regarding just the status of that whole, not the girl and him, but just the status of how I should interact with the child or whatever. But but yeah, and all I can say is the devil be bound. You know what I'm saying? That's a male that got, I got two sons with him. He got daughters in different households and stuff like that. That's something you got to deal with. You got to answer, and you got to sort through yourself. Because if I was once a part of that and trying to help you to sort through that, and you went elsewhere, I guess thinking that you're going to get better help with them and something like that, you just basically just jumping out of one to go somewhere else. It's not really getting better for you. It's getting deeper. You getting yourself in a deeper world of mess. But I try to tell him that with his first daughter, and so of course with his second daughter, he is Mr. Think he know it all, I guess, or whatever. So I just left it at that. So yeah, when he started doing that and just kind of slipping away from our sons, I was like, wait a minute. And I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, he, as a dad, interacts with his male children differently than he does his female. I mean, I'm almost positive he does, but I don't know, because I didn't get to, like, witness it long enough to really see. Here we go with shenanigans. But yeah, that was on my mind today for whatever reason. And like I said, I didn't even want to acknowledge the birthday of these people because it don't really make me know. Never mind. The other thing was about the so-called aunt, which is his so-called aunt, which is his so-called dad's sister or whatever. And again, she would be my kid's so-called great aunt. Absolutely not. So I just was remembering about her, how she would, and that's why I said big trifling is trying to be all up in the midst. Like, as soon as I'm talking about this, there he go pulling up. It's like a confirmation, but this one is almost like a sick confirmation, like, ugh. But, confirmation, I guess, nevertheless, but, because he is his mammy's son or daughter or whatever you want to consider himself. I'm not trying to be funny, but some days he probably want to be a dude, other days he want to be a female, which whatever. Yeah, speaking of, there go that car cranking up again. I don't know if y'all can hear the noise in the background, but yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So anyway, the so-called aunt or whatever, she would just stir stuff up. When I first moved over here, I do remember her coming, like I was coming home from work or something like that, and I was coming in the house, and I just seen a car pulling up in front of my yard, like they have been doing, and it was close to my mailbox, or just, you know what I'm saying, just over here, period. When you don't live here, you know what I'm saying, they might have just been used to, oh, we can park over there because ain't nobody staying there. Not comfortably. So, and no, I don't own the street, and I wasn't trying to own the street, but I just wanted it to be respectful. So I kind of like gave a look or whatever. I might have rolled my eyes. I was about to say, knowing me, I probably did the little eye roll, Jada Pinkett Smith eye roll. But I know I just looked and I just turned my head and went in the house. And that was it. I went in the house and closed my door. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. And next thing I know, about 5 minutes later, somebody was knocking on my door, and it was the so-called aunt. This was again before I had children with her so-called nephew and stuff like that. But and that was it. And she came. She was like, do you have a problem with? And she didn't sound hostile or anything. She was like, do you have a problem with parking right here? I was like, when y'all block my mailbox, if y'all block when I put my trash out or something like that. So other than that, no, I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, that's what I told my friend at the time. She was calling him her friend, but he was sleeping. You know what I'm saying? He was staying over there sleeping in. I'm not calling no nigga my friend that I'm laying up with. Period. I'm not even necessarily saying my boyfriend like that, but I'm just not finna say. I don't want to say reduced, but I'm not finna say you my friend. But anyway, he's sleeping over there around you and your kids, your grown kids at that. Baby, okay, whatever. Yeah, I told my friend not to do that, but he don't have the common sense to know not to do that. He don't have the common decency, the common respect to not pull in front of somebody's trash cans that's already out to the road. Like what? I mean, it's like they did. It's like you intentionally wanted to cause a problem for me, whether it was subtly or whatever. But anyway, she claimed she told him. I was like, okay, well, yeah, please don't, Well, I'm getting ready to have something soon or whatever. You invited if you wanna. Okay, thank you. I'm getting ready to have something soon, so you know what I'm saying. Please don't park right here. I need the space or whatever. So that was that or whatever. And I'm thinking about the way that she came and approached me. Came to the house or whatever, and like I said, it wasn't hostile. It was quite peaceful, but it was, it was something still off about it, but still, it was a better way than what she and others have chosen before. Like, I can deal with that. And even back then, honey, I would definitely probably had more of a attitude of, especially if I'm coming home from work and I'm just wanting to get in the house or whatever, and I'm not bothering y'all. I didn't go out my way to say nothing to you. I just looked because you're pulling up in front of my house. Like, it's just habit and instinct just to look, you know what I'm saying? Somebody pulling up in front of your house, you're out there, you want to double check, is this somebody from here, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Again, I don't know what all went on over here before I moved over here, but I know some things, but, not much. But I look at their patterns, and when nobody's living in a certain house, they like to get on and act like it's theirs or whatever. I'm just be like, ugh. Y'all just sicken me, disgust me. But anyway, so that was that or whatever. And that was that. And you know what I'm saying? I thought that would be the end of that or whatever, and I thought, let's peacefully talk. Then there was a time when I went over there and knocked on her door, and I'm like, whoever y'all talking about calling the cops on y'all, it wasn't me. You're so-called, I get these nasty text messages talking about I'm calling the cops, and she claimed, I don't care who's calling the cops and this, that, and the third, but y'all sitting over there, whoever it is, y'all sitting over there talking about me. And he ain't the only one who sent me the message. Somebody else had let me know, oh yeah, they said you be calling the cops on them. I'm just like, Lord. And for you to be the instigator to even go back and tell somebody, and you're not even in this neighborhood or nothing. But anyway, baby, if I say something, I don't care if y'all repeat. So I asked, I was like, yeah, y'all claim I called the cops. So I ain't heard nothing about that in my house. So I guess that was a lie, one of the first lies. It's like, if you heard it, you heard it. It is what it is. I ain't heard nothing about that in my house. What? I don't got time for y'all. That's what I don't have. That's what I don't. Or that's what I wish I didn't have, should I say. I want time, but I don't want it for y'all. Let me be careful. But But yeah, so it was just crazy. I'm just looking back on how her approach was and how it changed and how I just observed how you changed. It didn't take no time, honey, for you to realize I'm not for you. I'm not here for you. I'm not here for them shenanigans. I'm not here to lie for y'all. I'm not here to protect y'all. Nothing like that. I'm here to definitely, I'm trying to raise my child. I thought I inhabited this earth and this land just like anybody else, and I'm taking up my space right here. And that was that. And anything else that's beyond that, I didn't really know or have the understanding. So, and it's just like she's like a year, not a year, but a generation or more older than me. I think she, they're the next generation because she's like my so-called mom's age. And again, when she realized that I was younger than them and younger than her, oh, I got kids her age. So you started to look down on a young person because, you know what I'm saying? I'm not your age. Oh, okay. And you're supposed to be a believer and stuff. And I'm granted, as believers, you don't know every scripture in the Bible or anything like that, but you do need to get educated. But you should know better than the Spirit of God should help you to know better than to look down on anybody or feel a type of way that somebody can enforce something even at a younger age than you. I'm having some trouble, you know what I'm saying, with because my daughter is you know what I'm saying, trying to operate like she's full grown. But if she know her stuff, then she know her stuff. I can't take that away from her. You know what I'm saying? If she don't, now that's an issue for me. It's like that's a reflection of I thought I taught you better. That's a reflection of what I did teach or what I didn't or whatever. But also, I know that sometimes you can teach them and they still can choose not to apply it or whatever. But I don't know. I look at my kids. I admire my kids. I don't look down. Other people kids I'm not really fond of because I don't know how y'all raise them. And then I just be seeing the adults and how they are. So I just, I have a problem with assuming that the kids are like that as well. Because you raised in that household. You're a product of that environment. But I still do not, until that person or that kid crosses me wrong. And even with kids, I'll probably give them more, like once or twice. These days it might be once, but back in the days for kids, I give them the extra chance or whatever. But yeah, I don't, I can't imagine how you see your own kids or your own self if you got to try to stomp on somebody else or talk down, look down, whatever, or try to make some kind of crazy scene or whatever. But like I said, I observed her approaches or or lack thereof change over the years. And it was a time when I was trying to talk to her and I'm like, can we talk about what went on last night or whatever? Wait a minute, I gotta help such and such move. She was talking about her daughter or whatever, her grown daughter finally moving out her house. And like I said, this was just a short few years ago. This was like 2015 or 14 or whatever. And I was just like, okay, so you avoided a peaceful moment for us to talk and all of that, but and again, because you feel like you're older than me, so you don't owe that to me. And I see a lot of people, but a lot of a lot of the older generation should just sit down and have those conversations or whatever. But anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on it. It was just on my mind for whatever reason today. Um, like these people definitely have tried to run me to hell and back and then back again and then and I just don't I don't know how they will have to answer for it, but I do pray for accountability. I don't care what location they at and all that. And for my so-called boy's dad, he can't even, my son can't even give you a phone call. What? That's some deep stuff. He can't even call his own dad that was in the hospital room with him, cut his umbilical cord, and he been up close and personal with. Wait, what? Who does that? So I just left it at that. And of course, at this moment with my daughter, I'm experiencing stuff like that. She have chosen not to call me, but I haven't told her she couldn't call me. She couldn't reach out when she was here. She could have still knocked on the door. It was just certain stuff. But anyway, so I don't know what all type of interference it was, but it was a mess. And I think about it because I still sometimes think about, damn, what would it look like? Every now and then, what would it look like had he chosen otherwise? And I be feeling that thing, almost feeling it, legitly. But right now, I just feel like those are illegit thoughts or whatever. It is what it is. They come up because they're in my memory. then I did think about the one that bullied me or called herself bullying me when I was younger and telling people that she beat me up and this, that, and the third. But every time I seen her when I was grown, she was like, "Oh, hey, girl, hey," and always wanted to hug me and this, that, and the third. But meanwhile, she was off telling other people, having them side conversations. Oh, she said she beat you up. This, and I just didn't understand what was the point and purpose. Like, you want to look like you felt that less than that you had to talk about me, or you did it. And you had to go talk about and spread it to everybody. Like, again, and that's what I just can't understand. Like, oh, yeah, 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 I defeated her or whatever. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand what was on the inside of me that was, or that people felt that they have to try to fight with me and try to do all that. I speak on stuff, but I don't even feel like I gotta tussle and do that. And I speak, like I said, I try to speak with authority. So, I mean, I guess it goes back to where the Bible says, the world hates you. Know that they hated me first. I be hoping that's it, because they be acting like it's something. They really be acting and almost convincing me like it's something different. And I think I pictured myself last night with like the little thing costume that the boy in the problem child had on. He had on like a devil little costume or whatever. And I had a picture or vision or something with that on my head or whatever, but that's not who I believe I am. That's not who it's been revealed to me that I am. I feel like the enemy may try to make flashes like that. That type of vision can even come from the enemy. Like, he try to give you flashes or whatever and make you come into agreement with that. But like, I'm really serious. People be trying to convince me that, and I have that one or two people that be in my ear like, no, you're not evil, this, that, and that. And then I be wanting to say, well, do you really know if I'm evil or not? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not to go against what they're saying, but just to, do you know? But if you have the Spirit of God, you can tell which spirit is operating in somebody else. So, but they literally try to leave me reprobate, not knowing, operating in ignorance, and just really convince me that I'm just this terrible person, this bad guy, this and the third. Like I said, I've done anything and I felt like just like the next or similar to the next. I mean, because some people do some stuff that I'd be like, oh no, baby, I don't do that stuff like you, baby. That ain't me. But and I think somebody could very well say one or two things about me like that, but or I ain't did nothing like that like you. But sometimes, even like when my daughter dived off the bed that one time when she was little, my so-called mom came over there. She was like, oh, it don't happen like that. But meanwhile, my sister, and then maybe somebody said that to her when this happened, but my younger sister, when I was, my younger so-called sister, when was living in the house, she got burned by iron. No, I didn't see my so-called mom come in there and burn her with the iron, but she was able to get access to a hot iron, and she burned herself on her chest. And I don't know if somebody said, oh, it don't happen like that or not. I don't know. But that's the first thing she said to me. It don't happen like that. And I'm like, what? It's like it's condemnation. Like, that was the worst thing ever. Granted, it was bad. It hurt. It broke my heart. She didn't bleed. She didn't even have no bruises. God softened her fall. She was just crying, and it just scared me. I felt like she had done popped her neck or something, because she just dived off the bed. It's almost like indication of what she did now, just diving out into that damn the world, or just that that environment that her dad is in, or what her so-called dad is in. But yeah. So I just be like, how dare y'all feel like y'all can say that about me? And then when I even fix my mouth to say something and I know it's accurate, y'all got a whole problem with it. So I don't know what they be saying. I'm not confusion, but I'm just using that phrase. But yeah, it tries to confuse me. It tries to bother me. It tries to penetrate me. But nah, I'm good. I'm going outside soon to put up my stuff because the sun is out. It's gonna rain tomorrow, so. But of course, me just trying to. I seen that so-called neighbor is home today, and I'm just like, I'm not going out there right now. Not that she gonna come to the door and chase me. It's just I don't even want her looking at me. Like, I don't be wanting them to lay eyes on me. Period. Yes, I do feel like I'm that precious and that. I was finna say that beautiful. Baby, I don't feel beautiful these days, but I'm definitely that precious that, like, you don't even put your eyes on me, baby. Like, I'm not saying that in no arrogant way. I'm just saying, like, y'all have had the chance to, and look at what you did with it. Like, goodbye. No more with this valuable stuff. But it's valuable cargo over here. So that's that about that or whatever. But because she's an older female, and I mean she probably can still move a little quick. But I don't care. And yeah, and then she just came. Yeah, she came at me in a hostile manner quite a few times. Where she started off with that sweet talking and that smile and this and that. She started off actually being nice and kind of welcoming to me, but then after so long, on behalf of kids that's not even her bloodline, she decided to turn on me. And you know what I'm saying? I understand being loyal to your household, but I don't understand being loyal to lies. I have to, even when the boys' so-called dad was in here and he was a liar, I'm not being loyal to your lies. I'm gonna be keep the peace in my household, but I'm not cussing your baby mama out for you. I'm not lying. I'm not doing whatever for you. I'm keeping the peace amongst all of us in this house, and then let the trickle effect. You know what I'm saying? If it spreads to outside, and I'm trying to establish order and get order and stuff. But anyway, so I don't like people like that. That at the expense of somebody else, just because. So I don't know if maybe she felt like she would lose her place to stay or whatever. Because had she not been like that, she definitely could have came over here, and if she needed somewhere to go and this, that, and the third or whatever. But she knew that. That was back then. That's not now. Don't get it twisted. But every day I just go over and try to analyze and look back sometimes on my interactions with people and just see what could I have done to improve. I'm not gonna front. I can see a lot of times what they could have done to improve, and it might be harder for me to see mine. But that's why I did ask for help. Get the up close and personal insight and help you know, for someone to help me to improve. And that's what it boiled down to. um I asked for the help, and it's like the help, every form of help have like gotten snatched from my household, or even just distanced or removed or whatever. It was him